Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So, for this year's Halloween 2022, we're starting off with Ultramega, written and drawn by James Harren, with inks by Dave Stewart. This is Volume 1, Stand With Humanity, right? So, this series came out in 2020, but the trade came out in 2021. And I already did a review for the first issue, but it was like so good, I had to buy the trade when it first came out. Which I waited for the trade because like the first issue went for like $15, right? Yeah. So yeah, for a first review for Halloween 2022, I had to review this book, right? Which I got this book, by the way, is M-rated and goes for 20 US. I think I paid like 30 Canadian for this book, right? And I'm gonna keep this short because I don't want to spoil the whole book, right? Which, by the way, I love the inks for this book. They give it kind of like an uh, aged look to it. So like I said for my review for the first issue, this comic series is basically a body horror Lovecraftian parody of Ultraman, where this takes place in a world where this alien shows up in the dream of our main character Jason, who is an unemployed retired boxer in a world where like robots are replacing people, right? So he gets told in his dream that, hey, there's this cosmic virus that's going to turn people into kaiju, and he's been chosen to become a warrior, an Ultramega warrior to fight the kaiju, right? Which he turns into a giant, right? And like there were besides from him, there was two other Ultramegas. One, a child prodigy called Stephen Meyer, right? Who was the green Ultramega until like he lost his arm, and then you had like the red Ultramega, which is right? Which there's not showing right now, but see if I can find Here, well, like right here, he lost an eye, and he's the red one in the middle. Here you see all three fighting together. So yeah, the first issue is basically setting up this world where you have like people who turn into giants to fight monsters, right? And the story almost has like a Beowulf kind of a lot of Beowulf themes, right? Because like this our main character, right? Jason was an Ultra Mega for like 10 years, right? And got married and had a new kid, right? But when early on in his career, he had his first wife who was pregnant, named Lilith, who was infected with the cosmic virus, right? Was going to turn into an like a kaiju, but he ran away from her, and she ends up becoming the Queen Kaiju, right? And their kid that she had became like the kaiju, like King Kaiju, right? And like all three of our Ultra Megas in the first issue lose to the King Kaiju, right? Here you see Jason's current wife and baby, right? Yeah, so the first issue was super dark, man, with its gore and ultra violence, right? And there's some dark humor, and there's also Ava references where you have the one red Ultra Mega go berserk, and he becomes like basically an Ava, right? Yeah. So yeah, basically everybody dies fighting the Kaiju Prince, which was the first son of Jason and Lilith, who was infected with the virus, right? So like, yeah. So the first issue is basically all of our heroes dying, right, and setting up this post-apocalyptic world, right, where our new protagonist is the son of the son of the protagonist of the first issue. His name is Noah, right? And in the second in chapter 2, in this we get like an origin story of the Ultramega, right? Right. And like yeah, we basically like follow um, Jason's son Noah, right? Where we learn his backstory. We learn that basically in the outs, outside of the wall, you have like these where basically most of it's kind of like Attack on Titan, where most of humanity is like living inside the wall, right? But in the outside, you have these uh, two um, two communities. One that are basically subservient to the kaiju, right? Who are called who are worship the kaijus, which the kaijus now no longer have the ability to turn into giants, right? Like no longer have the ability to turn into giants because all the Ultra Megas were killed, right? But they still rule the outside of the wall, right? And our main character Noah, who's supposed to be 20, who still looks like a little kid. I guess it's from malnutrition, right? It's kind of a screw up, right? There's like peace between the Kaiju Kingdom, which is the humans who are uh, basically servants of the shrunken kaiju, and you have the normal humans who are called Avalon, which our protagonist is part of that community, right? And he ends up starting a war with the kaiju kingdom. This is all a dream sequence, by the way, and ends up getting sold out by one of his mentors, right? And is forced to fight in this Coliseum, right? This is yeah, he's forced to fight in a Coliseum dressed as the Ultra Megas, right? He's dressed as his father, and you have the other two captives, right? And here they have this battle to the death with other kaijus, small kaiju, right? And what's really cool in there, in the Coliseum, there's like miniature buildings, right? So that like the miniature kaijus are almost uh, like are nostalgic for the days when they were giants, right? Yeah. So what ends up happening is that you know they have this fight to the death with the kaiju, and our main character after having this battle to death with these monsters impresses um, this eyeball creature, which is the source of the power of the Ultra Mega, who Jason before he died ripped it out and sent it to find a new heir, right? Which in the final issue it fuses with Jason's son Noah, right? In the final issue, it fuses with Jason's son, and he becomes the new Ultra Mega, right? And because he becomes the new Ultra Mega, the kaiju turn back into giants, which they had this plan of making giant robots to attack the city, right? And Jason's son Noah is like a blue Ultramega, right? Yeah, so I don't want to spoil the end of the book, but yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So what did I think about this book, right? Well, the book, I thought it was good. I like the dark humor. I like the ultra violence. I like the. This is a very twisted, like a very dark, twisted parody of Ultraman, right? And like I like the post-apocalyptic setting, right? My problem with the book is that it has too quick of a pace, right? And you don't really get like character development for like um, for like the different side characters, right? And then there's the fact that and like it takes a while for like most of the the giant versus kaiju action is in the first issue, and it's not really into the third issue where you get more of the giant versus kaiju battles. And when that does happen, they get the main character gets severely injured. So is he going to get replaced by another character in in the second series or issue 5? I have no idea, man. But yeah, besides from that, I thought this was a very good book. And if you're an Ultraman fan and you want to see like a dark take on Ultraman, this is a very good book. But even if you're not like an Ultraman fan, but if you're just someone who likes like action horror comedies, this is a very good book. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. That that's it for this review, guys. Peace. Wait till our next Halloween month review. Um, by the way, we're also going to be reviewing horror movies during the month of October, right?